I have beef with this child. There are 700 gods in this series. Why do I have to play as the whiniest one? God of War Ragnarok introduces a fully playable Atreus, and it's kind of a disaster.
Boy.
To explain why it's so divisive among the fans, first we have to talk about Kratos. In Ragnarok, this man plays like an absolute demon. Everything from 2018 is juiced up, and he's taking no L's. Except for all the times that he does take L's. Okay, now that I'm looking at it, it's a lot of L's. But forget about that shit. He's got 3 different weapons that are built for fast-paced combat, quick reaction times, and aura farming. The guy is so cool that they even made a game about him, and it's this game, and I'm playing it right now. And then there's Boy. Hello? Oh yeah, let's go boys. Hey, fuck you, Dreki. Are you riding a water cow? Can you stop? Guys, Atreus said if you subscribe to 22 Luke on YouTube, he'll blow up Ironwood. My biggest complaint with the Atreus sections of the game is the pacing of each segment. Both God of War 2018 and Ragnarok have fairly slow-paced openings that take a while to get to the main gameplay loop, especially compared to anything from the Greek saga where it's immediately on site with whoever the fuck Kratos hates today. And it's because these 2 games have a much larger focus on narrative and storytelling. There are more named characters in Ragnarok than there are in all of the Greek games combined. I don't even know if that's true, but it feels correct because, oh my god, these guys are yapping. Mimir alone has enough lines of dialogue to fill an entire novel with witty banter.
Here, fancy a riddle.
If you fancy a boot to the head.
Riddle solved.
I'm pretty sure Kratos only talked to like 5 people in Chains of Olympus, and 50% of those guys didn't know they weren't gonna be in God of War 3. I'm just saying, it's a fun game. You could have been there if you hadn't exploded. So anyways, Ragnarok was already gonna have a lot of cutscenes and dialogue between the characters to break up the action. And then you swap to Atreus and it's like, brother, is there any action? When you take control of this man, he embarks on the world's slowest exposition walking sims I've ever played. The most notorious and controversial section of the game by far is Ironwood. Just as the main story really starts to get going with Tyr, Santa Monica Studio hits you with the Ultra Wombo combo. A trek through Alfheim, objectively the worst realm with the worst enemies in any God of War game. Fucking elf, dog. And then straight into 2 hours of Atreus walking around Ironwood, picking fruit, being whiny. Oh my god, shut up. Why does this yak thing walk at a brisk 2 miles per hour? It feels like he's fucking with me. Do I really need to do chores right now to get the full God of War experience? I just want to play God of War. And it just keeps going and going. Like, for God's sake, man, let me just throw the axe one time. I'll come back and compete in the Wolf Olympics if you just let me impale one Grim repeatedly. Plus, they did Angerboda so dirty by cooking up the worst gameplay segment as her introduction. I think her moves are pretty sick, and they look rad as hell in combat when she's throwing around all the colors. Definitely cooler than Sindri throwing his finest pottery. Wait. Hey, yo, Brock, come get your man and bring some extra small underwear. The dynamic between Angerboda and Atreus is pretty cute, dude. I don't know. I ship it, bestie. But I think most people just associate her with the dog shit, never-ending nightmare that is Ironwood. But Ironwood is only 1 out of the 5 Atreus sections, and they're all pretty similar. Throw a little baby temper tantrum and piss off literally every member of the crew. What the fuck? Low-key consort with the enemy and betray your father. Ride some form of cow on water or land for way too long. And then speak with every individual member of the extended Aesir family tree before taking a little nap because he's all tuckered out. The fun never stops when you're playing Loki. I'm so freaking pissed off at my objectively correct dad.
Boy.
I'm gonna climb this wall for like 15 consecutive minutes. Yeah, okay. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. Think about me doing this, you bald asshole. Then you have the Helheim section with Thrud, which is just fun. Wait, what? Minimal downtime, no weird chores to do or introductions to extended family, just fighting at full strength in hell. Why is this one good? Just make them all like this? I can't even tell what's happening, brother, and I love it. I guess now is a good time to mention his gameplay because it's actually low-key kind of sick. Get it? Like low-key? Because that's Atreus' name if you're dumb. Spartan gang, fuck the giants. So when you're playing as Atreus, you obviously use his bow for combat, and it retains the magical effects that it would have if he was Kratos' little wingman. You've got the long-range shots to apply status effects like Sonic, but you can also just get up in there and beat the meat off a dude. That's not... I shouldn't have said it like that. I gotta give him credit, man. It's a very God of War approach to guy with bow. When Kratos used a bow in the past, he kinda used it like a very sane individual would, running around firing shots quickly, but still only firing shots. But he taught Atreus how to go buck fucking wild with that thing. I feel like it definitely should have broken like 1,000 times over the course of the game. It's just wood, man, from a tree, probably. You know, where wood comes from. Yeah, you can write the check to 22luke at youtube.com. Just go ahead and send me your credit card information. He doesn't need to be doing all that, but it is sick. He's got his own runic attacks that range from a slow-mo super shot maneuver to a ricochet bonkathon.
Yo, who the f trying to get bonked tonight?
And he's still got the runic summons, so here go one more for y'all. It's 30 crows that I pulled out of my ass. But hold on now, don't sleep on my boy Ingrid.
Nope.
Or I mean, girl.
Nope.
Girl Ingrid. Sword?
Nope.
Just don't sleep. Never sleep again. This floating sword is bullying the denizens of Helheim, and you won't believe what happens next. Oh, fuck, it's Ragnarok! I believe that Ingrid is directly responsible for the events of every God of War game. It makes sense when you consider how much of a demon this thing is in combat. Show him, Ingrid. Atreus' progression is not bad, and by the time you get to his last segments, he starts popping off with all his crazy time effects and bow combos. It's kind of fun, y'all, I can't lie. But everything about these Atreus sections feels a little bit worse on the second playthrough. If you're a certified gamer like myself, your second playthrough is going to be on Give Me God of War. It goes without saying that everything is harder on Give Me God of War, but I did just say it because I'm dumb. I've beaten every God of War game on the hardest difficulty multiple times. Fuck you, Ares. Kratos is basically an extension of myself at this point. I don't even know which one of us is cosplaying the other. And Ragnarok still manages to whoop my ass sometimes, okay? This game is tough. So believe me when I say Atreus on Give Me God of War is kinda bullshit. Huh? Of course, when you have all of the abilities by the end, it's cake. So it's really only the first and second sections that are annoying, which are going to find sad girl Freya and all of Ironwood. 2 hours of Ironwood, fuck Ironwood. The enemies are so beefy and you don't have any of the cool skills to modify the gameplay, so you're just swinging on them forever. Brother, it is truly a slog, and the fact that you can't skip it on replays makes it even worse. Based on all the stuff I've said so far, you probably think that I hate Atreus, but actually I don't. Nah, man, I'm just playing. My beef isn't really with Atreus or even God of War Ragnarok at all. It's with all the stuff that should have happened in a third entry. The real problem with Atreus is that he needed another game to develop more as a character. 2018 created a whole new setting for the series that could have spanned as many games as the Greek saga if they wanted, but at the very least, they needed to make a trilogy to match the pace that was set in 2018. Going from never even seeing Odin or Thor, Sleepy Little Dream Time excluded, to triggering Ragnarok and destroying the entire Pantheon needed more than 2 games. Atreus' segments could have been spread out and given more time to breathe, while also being able to cut a lot of the walking sim exposition dumps. They were kinda cooking with the combat, but everything else feels like they couldn't find a way to have these characters on screen without Kratos clapping them immediately. So they sent a toddler on a bunch of field trips, and the results were, I mean, fuck. I mean, you know how kids are, right? Always causing Ragnarok.